Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to your 14th Android tutorial, and what we're going to do in this tutorial is work within our splash activity. Basically we want the splash activity to sleep for 5 seconds and then open up a new activity, basically our starting point activity, and we're going to accomplish this by using a thread. Now I want to show you guys threads because it's super important, especially for game development, and what threads allow you to do is do multiple things pretty much at the same time, instead of waiting for something to get done and then doing something else. So I'm just going to show you the basic framework of a thread and use the thread to execute what we want to do for our splash activity. To set up a thread, it's just basically like every other variable we've set up. We define what type it is, and it's going to be of the type thread. And we're going to call this thread timer because basically it's going to be timer that counts for 5 seconds and then starts an activity. Now, how we're going to set this thread up is basically create a new thread. So we're going to say new thread. I know this is kind of you guys are probably like, what's this new thing all about? Just don't worry about that for now. It's kind of a Java thing, and we'll get into it later. For the most part, I don't want to explain what it's doing. Basically, it's just creating a new thread. Think of it like that. So just say a new thread with parentheses, and then we're going to hit an open bracket and hit enter. And before our code gets too sloppy, because we're going to have a lot of different brackets and a lot of different somewhat methods within this thread, we're going to finish off our thread definition for the most part with a semicolon, just so we don't forget later. Now what a thread is looking for is a method called run. So we need to set up this run method within our thread that we defined. So we're going to say public, again public is accessible to everyone for the most part, public void, meaning it's a method, and run with parentheses, and then we're going to set up a new pair of brackets. As you can see, the brackets are already getting kind of confusing, so I'm going to try and keep them all on the screen so you guys can make sure you're doing this right. Now basically within our run method, we want, anytime we do something sketchy, like if you guys ever wanted to go streaking across a football game and you know, you thought that'd be awesome, so you're gonna try to do it, but you know, sometimes it wouldn't work because you get arrested. Anytime you do something sketchy in programming, you also have to use a try bracket. So we're gonna try to let our program do something for the most part, and that's what this is gonna do. And if it can't do that, we're gonna catch the exceptions, or basically if we can't do the action that we're trying to perform, most likely there's some sort of error or an exception. So we're going to try and catch those exceptions and use them for debugging. So we're going to say catch exceptions, and basically to catch exceptions you tell the computer what kind of exceptions you are looking to catch. And for this instance we're going to say interrupted error. Interrupted exception. What am I doing? That's the type of exception we're going to try to catch, and it's called E. Now within this basically this catch again is trying to catch these type of exceptions if they pop up. You guys don't really need to know what this exception is for the most part right now. This is mainly for debugging. So again, put a new bracket right here, and we have to import interrupted exceptions, or actually it's giving us an error because we aren't trying to do anything, so there's no way there's going to be any exceptions. But that will go away in the next tutorial. And there's where we're going to try and catch those exceptions. And the last thing we can do is do a finally method. So there we go. Within our run class we have a try. We're going to try to do some methods or try to do something. If we can't do those methods, or something runs, if our application's running too slow for some reason, it's going to catch the exceptions, and we can use that for debugging. Like write a note to ourselves within here so we know which thread is going slow or not working properly. And then finally we can do this method after we've done that. After we've tried something, we can do something finally. And yeah, I don't know. It's pretty okay. Basically yeah, this is our last little chunk of code that we can use if we want to try one last method after we've done whatever we tried in these brackets. So hopefully that's not too confusing. We're going to set up what we want this thread to do in the next tutorial. But after we set up our thread, it's still not going to do anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our thread variable called timer, and to start a thread you just use the method called thread, and this, or I'm sorry, called start. This is from the thread class, so we can use this method because again it's a thread variable. So we're just going to hit start and then semicolon, and that will start our thread. Again, we haven't defined it to do anything. I just wanted to show you the framework of how you set up a thread and some of these try, catch, and finally type of things. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Sorry, I'm getting kind of tired, so if I wasn't super enthusiastic, I apologize. So have a good day.